some of the headlines that's happening in this past week. The first one, JP Morgan to accept crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. Now, what does that mean? So people can borrow against their stock portfolios. So if you have an official account like with Fidelity, with Schwab, one of the big institutions, obviously JP Morgan, you have a sizable amount, they will allow you to borrow against that so you can go take out and buy real estate, so you can go buy other assets or live off the money. So you got guys like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, when they're at their companies, they make sure that they receive a very low salary and then they receive stocks. And then what they do with those stocks, they borrow against them, which creates a non-taxable event. So that's a strategy that the wealthy use to not pay as much taxes. So JP Morgan's like, we're going to allow you to use your Bitcoin ETF as collateral. So we're going to be following that story. And that's a big breaking news, I would say, that Bitcoin ETFs or crypto ETFs in general are now being considered for collateral. All right. And then the next one we have is Stellar CEO Dixon on PayPal launching its stablecoin on the foundation's blockchain. So PayPal has the YUSD, PayPal stablecoin, and now they're putting it into the blockchain. So we got the USDCs, we got the RLUSDs, we got the USDTs, and now PayPal, a public company, which I definitely be using their app. People use Venmo as well. They're dropping their stablecoin, or rather issuing it on a public blockchain. I think that is big for innovation. Then we have Ondo Finance brings tokenized securities to the XRP ledger with seamless mint and redemption via Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. So we have Ondo partnering with XRP. So they're going to be bringing their yields over there, which is their treasury yields. You can earn about 4%, 5% on a treasury yield. And now you got 24-hour redemption, 24/7 minting. And this is mostly for the investors outside of the US, so that way they can tap in with the US market. So XRP cooking right now. And to dive in a little deeper on that, they're bringing the OSUG there. That's that, again, seamless mint and redemption, access to liquidity. There's a more established liquidity. And this is the way for XRP to get their RLUSD stablecoin in adoption more. And then obviously this helps out just with their utility in general. And the holders are like, bring the bonds on chain, baby. Bring those treasury bills on chain. Now, some of the news that people really are focused on, obviously, in that I think what needs to happen is the Genius Act, the Genius bill, right? Genius stablecoin bill passes, key vote, advances in U.S. Senate. So in this situation, it looks like it has passed in the Senate. They remember they did that vote where they just want to like discuss it. So we all good to go. Now it has to go to the House, and then eventually it passed the House. And then after the House, it'll go over to the president. The president signs it in. But why is that bill important? It's important because, for one, it helps companies like USDC or Circle. It is a way for them to be legitimized, prove their reserves. Remember, Tether had issues about that a few years ago about getting their reserves approved. So, or reserves, proven. So it proves the reserves. It has different security features that you need. You also get the opportunity to have all the stuff be more public, like a public company. So you know what's happening. The laws are clear. We know it's for payments. We know that it's backed by treasury bills or one-to-one. We know that there's some type of security there, and we have a finger to point to if things go wrong, clear regulation. Then the US dollar can spread with the USDC. So if any senators don't want this to happen, they're tripping. And otherwise, some of the Democrats there are like, hey, Trump is dropping stable coins. We don't want him to be laundering money. So that's always the issue there, but we'll get past that. And then finally, more XRP news. USDC is now live on XRP Ledger. That's the enterprise beat business to business, use USD for global money movement and improve capital efficiency across borders. Obviously, you can send with XRP in a few seconds. Deeper DeFi liquidity, financial infrastructures, so that's the custodians, the wallets, the fintech platforms. And remember, Uber talked about potentially integrating stablecoin. So if you got that stablecoin on XRP, you got it on Uber, everywhere, it's going to be fire. People may be concerned that RLUSDC, mostly the Ripple people, might get less usage now that USDC is there. And I tell you right now, I would much rather use USDC, a lot more established. And that just is what it is, y'all. That is what it is. Passive income, gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.